Well, because creatine is getting to the point where they're thinking about banning it because it has a lot of supplements in it. They're boundary steroids, and then even like there used to be one called
any other means but plugging that into the address.
Exactly. So, and the dark web is full of like hitman
stuff that's like, what is this, like dead animals and things like that, where it's like, why the hell is this on here?
Yeah.
But they would do that. That's
You know, they're gonna live out the rest of their lives, and they could maybe only be 30 years old.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Two Couch Talk.
What's
This
up?
is
What's
Two
up?
Couch
Hey,
Talk.
yeah, this
We
is
have
it.
two couches.
Two couches.
We talk to each other.
talk.
There's three guys.
It's three guys. Come on, just still
We
one more.
it could be three guys, two couch, one conversation.
Look, that's too close to another thing that I would not like to revisit.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're marginalizing it.
We're
then.
marginalizing it.
So once again, welcome back to Two Couch.
Yeah, welcome back to Two Couch Talk, you
Exactly.
guys. We made it to episode 13. We're going to break the stigma about 13, so let's make that happen. And with that being said, we are tweaking, more appropriate, tweaking the rules a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is, instead of 10 minutes increments, we're going to actually be doing 8 minutes for each of us. And instead of doing 4 topics, we're actually going to drop it down to 3 for time constraints. So with that being said, today I am your host, Gavinci Raw, a.k.a. Eli. I am here with Mannche, the other host, and also with
That's
our
me.
permanent guest, Mr. One and Only Alex Busta with the silky smooth voice.
Hey.
Hey. So with that being said, we're going to just jump right into it and make this happen. So
Yeah, we're trying to cut down on the time. We realized you guys didn't really like the hour-long videos, and we're trying to
shorten it a little bit for you guys,
yeah, shorten it a little bit. I
You-
know you guys are on time constraints yourself. You don't have
Mhm.
enough time to sit down for an hour, just watch one of the episodes. So
Sure enough.
we're trying to accommodate everybody here.
You guys are busy men and women. We understand.
Exactly.
So with that being said, I'm going to start off with my topic, in which case I want to discuss bodybuilding in America.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, interesting.
I mean,
All right.
I know both you guys aren't really bodybuilders per se, but
Are
I know.
you sure?
I mean, I'm pretty.
I mean,
You
we're
see this,
I
right?
mean, hey, let's talk. Let's talk about it. So
Oh,
let's
man.
begin. 8 minutes starts now.
All right. So what are you looking to discuss as
Yeah.
far as bodybuilding
Well-
in
Yeah,
America?
give us some more context.
More
here.
context. All right. So bodybuilding has been looked upon as not very healthy working out per se. People say that like working out should be like cardio and things like that are natural for your body, rather than bodybuilding, which actually expands and actually enlarges your heart. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because, I mean,
Well, bigger heart means more blood pumping.
well, but bigger heart also means you could have a heart attack easier too.
lot of problems come with that as well.
and a large
Yeah.
heart.
Well, I mean, you could also say the same thing for cyclists. People who do like the Tour de France.
Uh-huh.
You've seen their calves. They're not normal calves. They look like
Cartoon.
like it literally is insane, like the muscle definition that they have in their legs.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as they're done with the leg, they do over 100 kilometers in like a day.
Yeah.
So when they're done with one day, I mean, like all their muscles are contracted and their veins are like damn near poking out of their skin, and like that can't be healthy either. But that's cardio.
That is cardio. So it's just continuous blood flow to your heart and to your other organs throughout your body. So I mean,
My parents have run like 12 or 13 marathons, and they're 50 years old.
True enough, but I think a lot of the big concerns that come with bodybuilding from like a health perspective is, you've got to change a lot of aspects of your life if you're wanting to do that as your specific fitness goal. Your diet changes completely.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you work out changes completely. You're more about big lifts and lower reps to build up more muscle rather than doing, you know, the lightweight with lots of reps to tone. So it's definitely a different approach. I know another big thing, a huge concern that comes with that industry is maybe the types of supplements or things that people utilize to kind of get the most out of them gains.
Berry bonds.
Not orange juice, people, the bad kind of juice.
Yeah, the bad one.
Yeah.
But so, you know, those things, there are some things that are, you know, totally legal to use in the realm of enhancing your body that way. And then there are, you know, you got the Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, totally illegal ways of doing this. And
are you saying their greatness from what they did from those type of drugs was not overseen or even possibly looked upon as negative?
Yeah, it sounds like you've got your next topic, Eli. But I mean, so it can be concerning because if people are utilizing, you know, illegal supplements to enhance themselves, they're doing a lot more to their bodies than just pumping up their muscles or things like that. There's so many adverse effects that come from so much of that stuff that can really be harmful to a person. So I think bodybuilding as an industry, you know, I support it. Just because obviously, even though I'm obviously not in that vein myself, you know,
no pun intended.
Exactly. I mean, I can definitely understand the merit of it and why people want to achieve that and stuff like that. It's just the same as anything else that you're gonna do, where you're putting different things in your body or putting yourself in different scenarios to try and make these gains. Just do it safely and know what you're doing to yourself before you start doing it.
Yeah, I would say research is your best tool. Like, as long as you are comfortable using these things, then I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that, you know, especially if it's like legal in terms of like them using it for a competition or something like that.
Yeah.
But if they say like, oh, I found this and it's legal, but like I don't react well to it or something, but it does help me build muscle, like that's where I feel like you would start to kind of get into the realm of like
boundary.
Yeah.
Well, because there was for a long time there was well, because creatine is getting to the point where they're thinking about banning it because it has a lot of supplements in it. There are boundary steroids, and then even like there used to be one called Nitro, and that one was like it kind of was a testosterone booster, but also it was I forgot what it did to your blood, but it made it boost harder, and so it was almost like a energy drink times 20 to make your blood just go do, you know, methamphetamines and stuff like that was in it, so it'd make you go like really hard and fast. So they would take it almost like a pre-workout, so that way they could go to the gym, hit it really hard, and get like super swole immediately, because it's just like it holds and retains really hard. But you know, that stuff wasn't illegal when it first came out.
But I mean, I'd say there's also adverse effects. You know, if you get enough muscle, you can't do a lot of things that like all like us, like we can do, you know.
True. Like
my dad isn't necessarily the biggest dude, but I mean, I wouldn't mess with him. So, but he can't sit like crisscross. He's not
like cross-legged?
Cross-legged. He cannot sit like that. It hurts him too much.
Because he is too much
I'm
to wrap around.
I'm assuming that his legs are too big. Like he could just literally be like that, like that, not flexible. Or,
well, I was to say, or he's just that much of a man. He just can't.
I guess so.
Oh lordy.
But I couldn't, like, he just doesn't. He can't do it, and I don't know why. I mean, it's really funny to watch him try. But people like I know I've seen some bodybuilders, they can't lift their arms over their head because their shoulders are too big,
or they can't scratch their upper back.
Yeah, and it starts to interfere with, like, you can't like bend your arm all the way because your forearm and your bicep are too big, or you know, just stuff like that. It just, some stuff changes, especially, and when you get done with that, it has the same effect as being overweight. Stretches your skin out. As soon as you start losing all that muscle once you get older and you can't keep up your routine, if you go
It's-
back to like a normal size like us,
Uh-huh.
they're gonna have stretched out skin and it's gonna be hanging down like they were obese their whole lives.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why it's important that people that kind of go through that path, they're not just focused on the one area of fitness forever. You know, that they know that, okay, well, if I'm not going to be competing anymore and I don't want to deal with these physical constraints that I have and things like that, then I know that I still need to hit the gym. I still need to be healthy, but I need to change my routine. I need to
Yeah.
change my workout so that I can tone my body rather than just
Or-
going from being, you know, built like a fridge to just stopping working out entirely. I mean, I'm sure people who are involved in that lifestyle, it's going to be hard enough to completely drop out of it regardless, because
Exactly.
it you know, it consumes so much of your life. It's
It's an obsession at that point. You know,
Y-
it's
yeah, or at least a hobby that these folks are very involved in. And so it's you know as well as I do with any hobby, like if you just had to stop playing video games tomorrow forever, you couldn't do
No.
it. If you had to stop making hip hop music, you
Oh,
couldn't do
man,
it.
I
If I
couldn't.
couldn't pick up a book for the rest of my life, I couldn't do it.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. That was 8 minutes. Would you gentlemen like to use your 5?
No, I'm good.
I'm okay.
All right. So that is bodybuilding. If it's good or bad, how you guys feel about it. If we actually have any bodybuilders who actually watch this channel, we would love to hear from you guys and let you guys know how you feel about it personally. If we're full of crap, or if you feel, yeah, you know, let's hear your argument. Let's hear from you guys.
Exactly.
So with that being said, Mr. Mannche, you are up. What would you like to talk about today?
All right, we're gonna talk about something that is pretty big. It's pretty big in terms of relative size. Okay, we're gonna be talking about the deep and dark web.
Deep and dark web. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's not lose our livers here or our kidneys, so let's get going. 8 minutes starts now.
All right, so deep and dark web is just basically something that you can't access through a search engine. And there's a very good analogy where it's like, you know icebergs, about only 10% of it sticks out of the water, the other
Right.
90% is still underwater. Like that's the internet.
Yeah.
That's everything. So the top is only the stuff that you can search. That's still a lot. But
Oh, yeah.
everything under that is stuff that you can't search through like Google or Bing or Yahoo or any of the other search engines.
Right, you
Yeah.
have to know coding or like specific ways to
Exactly.
access this.
So there's
Go to Reddit.
so yeah. So there's the deep and dark web are different. A lot of people confuse them for the same thing, but they're really not.
No.
The deep web is like, so you can, when you upload a video on YouTube, you can unlist it, meaning that you can only find it with a certain URL. You have to be given the URL in order to reach that video.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm learning something today, guys,
Yeah.
because I know of the dark web, but I've never heard of
Okay.
the deep.
So like the deep kind of encompasses that because of the same idea,
Sure.
but it's not as like
seedy.
malicious.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I don't give you that URL, you will never find that video. You can't search it. You can't go to the person's channel and find it. You can't do anything unless I give you that specific URL to go to that video.
Okay.
Great.
That's
Crazy.
the deep web.
Okay.
So it's not
Yeah, it's not.
necessarily bad.
It can
yeah.
still be on pages on regular websites, just pages that aren't accessible through
Exactly.
any other means but plugging that into the address.
Exactly. So, and the dark web is full of like hitman sites that sell drugs,
Stuff that
Terrorism
call 'em
communications.
and they call them red rooms, where it's like people will like live stream them like killing other people.
Yeah.
And you can access that through a browser, like a separate like Google Chrome. It's called Tor.
yeah.
And all of the web pages that you use through Tor end with a .onion.
Yeah, because it gives you this like multiple types of like VPNs that are located to different states, countries, etc. So that way they can actually track you specifically.
Exactly. So it's dot. If you ever see a site that says .onion, that's you have to use the Tor browser to get to it. You can't use it like Google Chrome or anything.
Or if you'd like, you can just stay away from it.
Or
yeah.
I would not recommend going on there.
I mean, we are giving you guys a lot of information. Well, Jared's giving you a lot of information right now.
But the reason that it was created was because actually the government created it. It was like a naval security place that created the Tor browser, and they wanted to use it because of anonymity. Anonymity?
Yeah.
Anonymity? Is that how I say it? Okay. Yep. So they wanted to use it for that purpose. But the problem was, even if they have that, if the websites track who goes to their site, they can just be like, oh, hey, this one dude who we can't find is on our website.
Yeah.
I wonder who it could be. Well, it's like, oh, it's the government. So they had to release it to the public. You can't be anonymous if you're the only one being anonymous.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Well said.
Because then, if you let the ocean into it too, then it's like no one knows who's who.
Nobody knows who's who.
Mm.
So, people. I mean, that's kind of a little known fact is that the government actually made it.
Well,
and
actually,
I
didn't know that. So you said it right now.
And a bunch of illegal shit happens on the dark web.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me because obviously whenever we're in such a technological time now that anytime something like that gets created, there's gonna be ways to breach and for other people who shouldn't have access to it to be able to utilize it for whatever their means are. Yeah. I mean, we have how long ago was it where we had that breach of Equifax?
Actually,
you remember that?
I think it just happened again. Like, I think it's a trending topic right now as we speak.
But yeah, so that's
another one was PlayStation.
Yeah,
the whole PlayStation network got hacked, and a bunch of people's credit cards and stuff got stolen.
Yeah, because people store that on there for payment. You want to buy a movie from whatever streaming site that you use on your PS4. You don't want to put it in every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, digital wallet's probably not the best thing to
Not
have
the best
nowadays
idea.
either. But that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
different day.
I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it was interesting that there's so much that we don't know about, and with how expansive the internet is, I'm sure one person in their whole life you could never search through every single page that's on the internet.
Absolutely not.
Of course not. No.
Even if you did 1 page a second, I guarantee you could not go through every page, even just on the visible internet.
That 10%.
That 10%.
Right.
So, obviously I don't know what's going. I've never been on the deep. I guess I've been on the deep web.
Yeah, I've been on deep web too.
I've never been on the dark web, and probably would not want to go there. But it's just insane to me that it's that big of a difference.
Right.
It's that much of a change.
That is pretty wild, especially when you think about, because it's like a logical person will think about it and be like, okay, something wild, hitman, all right, drug dealers, black market type stuff. But then that's the type of stuff that you start noticing stuff that you had no idea existed. And what I was going to tell you was there's actually a YouTube channel. Forgive me, I cannot remember what the channel's called, but that's what they do. They literally go into the dark web and buy things. And one of the videos I saw was that they bought a teddy bear, and the teddy bear has a hidden secret in it. And so what they do is you cut it open, take it out, and it has weird things in it, like clothing, had people's toenails and fingernails in it, and then it had a USB. And then when you took out the USB and plugged it in, it was pictures of random weird stuff that's what is this, dead animals and things like that, where it's why the hell is this on here?
Yeah.
But they would do that. That's actually their channel. I guarantee if you type in dark web on YouTube, their theme will pop up 'cause it's the most popular is how I saw it. But they do that all the time. There's a whole bunch of different ones that they've done. They even done where they actually got was it Super Nintendo or Nintendo? I think it was Nintendo. It was a corrupted Nintendo cartridge and actually put in their Nintendo, and it was super bizarre and messed up, and it's like that's people do that stuff, and,
Yeah, and
and you can
it's-
only get it on the dark web, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Exactly. People buy like unlisted guns,
Yeah.
guns that have their serial numbers shaved off so you can't track them.
People buy people.
Yeah,
People
people
buy
buy
ES.
people. People
That- and
buy
that's- and
drugs.
That's the most terrifying shit I've ever heard.
yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of that. Would you gentlemen like to use your 5?
Absolutely not.
No,
No?
I'm good.
That
All
shit
right.
scares me.
Dark
I know,
web,
right?
dark web is over, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we highly recommend you do not go on it. Just don't. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
I mean,
And if the FBI because the government obviously they're tracking us. Don't tell everybody, but they're tracking us and they can see what you search.
yeah.
That's
so,
all right. Eli's got a phone out. They already heard everything.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what I wanted to say is if you use like Tor or something on your home, or if you go on like one of those pages on your home Wi-Fi, they can track that back to you
Yeah.
and like come to your house and like raid your place.
Yeah.
If you
so-
go on like if you go on like the wrong website.
yeah, go to McDonald's or somewhere with free Wi-Fi,
Or don't go on.
Or
there.
don't go on
don't
it.
go on there. So
But I that's what I just want to say. Don't go on it at home.
yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that was our topic on the dark web. Have any of you visited? And if you have, let us know in the comments below. And you know, like, comment, subscribe, put the little notification bell, all that good stuff. And with that being said, we're on to our man Alex Busta.
What up? What up? All right, guys. So my topic for today is going to be the very recent reinstatement of federal capital punishment in the United States of America.
Wow, federal capital punishment. All right, let's begin. 8 minutes starts now.
So just kind of a little background. I know state-wise, I think there's about 30 out of the 50 states that do utilize capital punishment as a final end to whatever convict what have you. Real recently, the United States reinstated the use of capital punishment, and have even gone so far as to state that in December or by December, they've already got 5 people selected who are going to be, for lack of a better term, put down. These are people who have a history of crime, who I believe are currently jailed for murdering children. Which, to be perfectly honest, if you ask me, I will not lose any sleep in December once that happens. However, a lot of people are questioning, is this a slippery slope? Because the United States is basically the only Western country to utilize the death penalty as often as we do. So it is kind of an interesting conversation that I do think needs to be had, because we need, in my opinion, we need to figure out what's the criteria that we're going to set for this is completely unacceptable. You are now going to die because you cannot live right. Because again, yes, we are talking about, that's kind of the hard both sides of it, is you are talking about someone who's committed obviously a very heinous crime or crimes in their life, has a history of it. But then on the other side, you do have people considering saying, well, this is a human, this is a life that we'd be taking off the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am of the opinion, though, that there are some people who the world would just be better off without, and they've had a pattern their entire lives of destruction, harming people, causing crimes, and don't seem like any more years on this earth is going to give them a better chance of developing into a better person. What do you guys think?
Wow.
All right. So I'm with you there. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. People they've been using capital punishment in the states where they do use it for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem like it's not like we're just, handing it out to everybody.
Right.
It's not like, oh, hey, you, not you though. Like, we're not just, flipping a coin like, hey.
Yeah, definitely you.
Definitely you.
You looked at me weird. You're gone.
I think, I mean, I guess I don't know everything, but I would say we've probably done a pretty good job of not giving everybody the death penalty, especially since a lot of people have life sentences or multiple life sentences that, they're going to live out the rest of their lives, and they could maybe only be 30 years old, and they're just given a life sentence instead of the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have other people who are like, say, 60 or something, and they're given the death sentence. It's like, I don't know necessarily what crimes they committed, but because a life sentence is like technically a death penalty,
more or less. Yeah,
it's more or less a death penalty, because you're not going to get out, and let's say they have no chance of parole, that they're never going to leave that jail.
Yeah,
never.
Because then the other side of the coin, which is just a different topic in itself, is, well, what if the people who were convicted weren't actually did the crime? What if they're actually innocent?
Exactly.
And then 20 years, 30 years from now, it's like, oh, some evidence magically popped up, and then it exonerates them of all the crimes.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, they're free now. It's like, well, you took away 30 years of their life or 20 years of their life. But that's a different topic. Well,
but I'm under the impression that, let's say, like, I know rape has been a really big, unfortunately has been a very big thing recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm if you're gonna rape somebody for, of any age, for any reason, or however long or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I think you should either be like castrated or you should be killed. That's where I stand. So I'm not gonna lose any sleep over if somebody who killed multiple children or women, or had a lifetime of crime since they were children, that if they get taken off of this planet, it's not gonna affect me in any way.
Sure. Your thoughts, Eli?
It's a real two side of the coin. Because without a doubt, if you're a scumbag and you chose this type of life, you should get your punishment. There's people in the world who've done these type of rotten things, never got caught, and they're still out there doing rotten things and things like that.
Yeah.
Am I gonna say the justice system is perfect? Not by any means. There can always be some type of improvement or some type of like I don't want to say correction, but some type of direction to make it more of a positive way. Maybe you could look at a different country and be like, okay, what are they doing that's different? Why are these people's crime rates so low and why is ours so high? Is it because we have more people and they have less people? Is it because this is a type of country that has more capital per person for revenue, whereas theirs is more of a considered poor country? Or how do you look at it, and how do you try to look at the avenues? Which I really can't. I don't have those answers, so I couldn't really dictate like, oh, it's because of this or that. But ultimately, I'm not going to say it's perfect, because I don't think it is perfect. But I do think that the people who do get punished really do deserve to get punished. I'm not going to say 90. It's like 99% of the time, but there is that one little percent where people do slip by for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Which it happens. It just, I hate to say it, but it's life in a way.
And it's not like these penalties are getting handed out by every the judge on the corner of the street. Like, this is going up pretty high.
Right. This is like a grand jury.
Yeah.
Federal court, because again, the states that have allowed it have allowed it for quite some time, but they just reinstated it federally.
Yeah.
For federal crimes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, it's not like, oh, I'm going to take somebody to traffic court, and then they're going to get a death penalty for cutting me off and running my car into them.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was 8 minutes of
Capital punishment.
capital punishment, which is
Well,
actually a good topic.
Not 8 minutes of capital punishment.
Well, no, that was
that'd
be a long time.
be a long time. Would either you gentlemen like to use your 5?
I'm good.
Not today.
Not today. All right, I'm gonna
All
hold my
right.
5-2 for the next episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, that actually concludes our episode for today, episode 13, lucky
I
number
know.
13.
I know it seems short, but it's
It's-
because it was.
Because it was really short, but without a doubt, any of the topics we talked about today, we would love to hear your guys' what
For
you guys think
sure.
about it.
For sure.
And hell, even if you guys have any ideas on how to improve the show or anything like that, because we want to grow with you guys. Well, we grow, that type of situation. So with that being said, all our social media will be in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you guys have yourself a wonderful night, and we will see you on the next one, episode 14.
Number
Exactly.
14.
All right.
All right. Thanks for showing up, guys.
Peace.
Peace.